Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story of 2024. I'm Larry Farver, and let's queer up the top stories of the year. This is number 5 of 24. TalkTV show host refuses to use guest pronouns. Well, this story was broadcast on May 1st on the FayWhat show. It happened when Virgin Radio presenter Shivani Dave appeared on the British network TV show TalkTV to discuss the cast report. When introducing Shivani, host Julia Hartley-Brewer called them, quote, she. Shivani corrected the host, saying that they used the they-them pronouns. However, Hartley-Brewer ignored it anyway and shared a post on Twitter saying afterward, quote, at least the Taliban know what a woman is, end quote. What is wrong with people? Let's find out.
Recently, Virgin Radio presenter Shivani Dave appeared on the British network TalkTV to discuss the cast report, an independent review of healthcare for transgender youth in the UK. When introducing Shivani, host Julia Hartley-Brewer misgendered them, calling them she. Shivani responded saying they used they-them pronouns. Hartley-Brewer went on to say, quote, thank you for telling me your pronouns. I use correct grammar, end quote. Hartley-Brewer also went on to call Shivani a single woman. Following the backlash, she has since reposted a post on X comparing the LGBTQ plus community to the Taliban, saying, quote, at least the Taliban know what a woman is, end quote. Watch this.
Good afternoon, Julia. You know my pronouns are they, them. How are you doing?
Yeah. Thank you for telling me your pronouns. I use correct grammar. So the only thing I would need to refer you to is to your face would be you. But I'm not being rude. You can choose your pronouns. You can choose what you want to call yourself, but you don't get to require me to use incorrect grammar and factually incorrect things. You're not a plural. You're a one person. And you're a female person, so I will use she and her. Thank you very much.
Do what you like, I guess.
Well, there you are. You didn't need to tell me then, did you?
Maybe I'm just making sure people know in case they're watching and they want to refer to me respectfully.
Is it disrespectful for me to use correct factual grammar?
It's not incorrect or unfactual grammar to use singular they them pronouns for an individual. But we're here to talk about the cast review.
Yeah, but you chose to bring it up.
You chose to use the incorrect pronouns for me.
I chose to use the correct pronouns for a single woman who is appearing on my show.
I'm not a single woman, though. I'm a very special non-binary trans person, as you just pointed out. I
didn't
really
just point that out.
Proud.
I didn't just point that out. I introduced you as a journalist and a Virgin Radio presenter.
No, just before I came on, you were talking about how people with all these labels like to be special. And I'm just making sure that everyone knows I'm special.
Okay, I'm not special. I'm just a boring old heterosexual married woman. But, sorry about that. We're not allowed to do that anymore. In fact, that probably does make me special now. I don't know.
British anchor refuses proper pronouns. What are we all talking about?
Wow, what can we say? I want to start out by saying it's appalling. I'm wondering, I know British TV is a little different, but, that the sponsors would allow that kind of conduct, and you wonder if there'll be backlash. Perhaps, there should be a boycott from our community, wherever their product sponsors. Mm-hmm. We need to start showing our power. I know it's been talked about on the show, but it's revolting that no matter what your politics are, that you would show no decorum. I always thought of the British people having maybe a little more decency and decorum than we as Americans, and that's just disgusting.
Have you heard of J.K. Rowling?
Well, yes, I have. Unfortunately, that's a disappointment too.
But I'm going to make the point here, and I know the gut reaction is to attack the financial backers, the advertisers on that show, but I challenge the producers because they knew who was the mm-hmm. guest, mm-hmm. and they know who was the interviewer. Right. And for the interviewer to go half-assed, cocked off, mm-hmm. talking about her view on trans issues when the story is about a positive story mm-hmm. about trans issues. Mm-hmm. Who screwed that up? It wasn't the advertisers, it was the producers who assigned the story and knew the personality of the two individuals, especially as the introduction went specifically like the trans. The guest was saying, this is a trans story, I'm a trans journalist, this is the trans way to do it, And why are you being rude to me in a polite way?
Well, Hartley Brewer has a long history of offensive behavior. So there's nothing surprising about what this walking disaster will do for ratings or attention. And that's what it's about.
And
it's about ratings and attention.
And that's my point.
But go ahead, John.
No, the ignorance obviously does go past the reporter. It goes
Much deeper.
Yeah. The people who hired her and continue to hire her.
But to the point, Shivani Dave, kudos to them who stood up for themselves, who educated, and then who called her out.
Yeah,
without being rude.
Without being rude. But called her out about before the segment. You just talked about me being special, so I'm just calling it out. And so kudos. It was a moment, irrespective. I agree with what everybody said here, but it was a moment of education. And it was a moment of how you can educate somebody and put somebody in a place respectfully.
Right.
Well handled.
But I'm doubtful that the interviewer learned anything.
I doubt it, but the viewers, right? And I think that the decorum that Shivani showed was amazing. And that person needs to be respected. They go by they, them, and we should respect people who that's their pronouns.
I mean, it's like, I go by the nickname Larry, even though my given name is Lawrence. You respect that,
Right.
Or the interviewer had a hyphenated name instead of
that's right.
Instead of her married name or her married name. I mean, her
That's absolutely great. We are bringing you a special presentation of the 24 biggest stories of the year. We call the Top 24 of 24. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.